From the age of 2 years old, when I put that football in his hand, it just took off from there. Actually, the first time he ever took a hit, he wasn't in pass. He was 3 years old. My hand, I was holding him, so when I put him down, he got ran over, and running back ran him over, crying like a baby. When I picked him up off the ground, he stopped crying, but as long as he was on the ground, he was crying. So that kind of gave me an idea that he was going to be tough. And that same year, I put him in football. He started when he was 3 years old. When he scored his first touchdown at 4 years old. So that's when I knew he had something special. When quarterback got hurt, I just looked him in his eye and told him he was up. And the rest was history, man. I can't even imagine or even saying that I knew this was going to happen. It was something that just came about. I seen him every year. He was just getting better and better. He wanted it more. His upbringing as far as like his brothers and sisters, yeah, I think that was more than made him get that drive. That was kind of crazy to me to find out that a 12, 13-year-old kid in the 8th grade that's going to be starting on the varsity. That first time I seen him get sacked, and when he got off the ground, I knew he was ready. I ain't never seen him get hit like that before, so I didn't know if he could take a hit. But he used to get hits. He also played defense. Everybody look at Lights Out as this quarterback, but they don't know put Lights Out in that defensive backfield back there, you got problems. That's why one of his names Lights Out, because he was putting lights out, and that name stuck with him, man, and he played lights out. Before he hit the circuit, he had already won the national championship. He was already flying to California, New York, and doing all this stuff at a young age, so it wasn't new to him, so it wasn't no big stage to him. I never took it as no stages being too big or too small for him, because I knew what he was going to do. These people went to the school on my son when he was 5 years old. Everybody else was 6 years old. So they went to the school on him and told the school that he was too old. And the crazy part was they kids was in his class. He was intercepting balls at 5 years old, taking them back for touchdown. He was throwing touchdowns. He was running touchdowns. He was cracking kids up. But since he was 5 years old, man, this man had been to Super Bowl every year. So as he grew and I seen him growing and I seen that quarterback was a spot that he excelled at, I started getting the proper training. And to see him growing from that kid to where he at now, man, it's like I ain't finna sit there and lie and say I knew it or I seen it coming, man. It was just something that happened. He blessed. Man, Kansas City is setting for what he is now, man. That kid played against 5 state championship teams that year. He didn't fold for now one of them. That was his freshman year. So when we made the decision to transfer out, it wasn't hard for me, but it was hard for him because he wanted to keep his bond with his brothers. We actually was going to Central our first year, the freshman year. So not knowing that Central played 9th graders, so far as the quarterback's position, I knew he had to stay and sit back and do his own thing instead of me sending him off playing under somebody. And look at it, it worked. Now he came back. That next year he came to Central, and with 3 championships later, I think it was a good move. Everybody else do too. It's sophomore year. The kids, you know, man, we ain't gonna win if we don't have Lights Out. When I get a phone call from the kids telling me to transfer him over there, that's what solidified that move. Central was like, they wanted Lights Out, but they ain't want his daddy. So I did it for my love of my son. So every move that I made was for him. He had a team that was surrounded with nothing but talent around it. Why not transfer in there? All you needed was him. He was the key component to what they had. They had everything. Senior year, went out with a bang. Player of the year, first team, everything. Offensive player of the year, state champion, national champion, cleaned up house. We got everything. FIU was one of the first schools that gave him an offer. I always felt like FIU was the best situation for him. The coach loved him. So that morning, the signing day, when he woke up, I kept jugging at him. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? And he was like, Pop, I'm gonna go to FIU.